Hey, what's up everyone? Nick here. Welcome back to Call of Duty Infinite Warfare on Veteran difficulty, and now we are tackling another one of the side missions in the game. This one is called Deep Execute, and it is one of the ground assault or ship assault missions. So the side missions are split into two categories. Ship assaults, where you actually personally board the enemy ship, and then there are the jackal strikes, which is when you're in your Jackal gunship and you fly around shooting down other ships. And so these types of missions where you actually board the ship, these take a little longer, so these are about 10 to 15 minutes on average. And then the Jackal strikes are really short. They're actually like only 5 to 6 minutes on average. This one right here, this is called Deep Execute, and like I said, we're playing, or actually I don't know if I said this, but we're playing on Veteran difficulty, and this one's actually the easiest in the entire set of side missions, but it is really fun. And so one thing I really have been loving about these side missions, so at the time of recording this, I've actually beaten the game completely 100% on Veteran, and these side missions are a lot of fun because the ones where you get to board the ships, they are often very stealth oriented, and this one is perhaps the stealthiest. It's actually the easiest as well. I kind of found myself wondering like how this was even a side mission, because there was never any point in this level where I thought, uh-oh, I'm at risk of dying here. It was really, really simple. And that's because what ends up happening is we have other stealth missions, but in those stealth missions, we cannot be seen by the enemy soldiers. But in this mission, what you're going to see later is we steal a enemy's suit, and then we're able to walk around in that suit, and so we're out in plain view, and no one's able to do anything about it because they don't know any better. They don't know that we are from Earth and not Mars. So what you're going to do is hide behind that door until that meter goes down, and that meter is the enemy indicator showing how aware they are that you're near them, and then you're just going to do a stealth kill on this guy here, and then you're going to keep on going. And another point on these side missions in general, not just this one, but all of them, they're all pretty simple. There are going to be some points where you die. I know I died a few times, but there was never a single mission where I thought, like, wow, I'm not going to be able to beat this, or wow, I need to put down my controller for a bit because I'm getting really mad. They're all really simple, and kind of a testament to that is when I do these hardest difficulty walkthroughs, usually what I do is play the game on regular first, and then I move on with the hardest difficulty. That's what I did for the main campaign, but for these side missions, I just played them straight away on Veteran. Like, my first time playing through them, I jumped straight to Veteran, because once I realized that they weren't that hard, I thought, I could probably get through them, piece of cake. And so if you're watching this video to prep yourself for the side mission, and if you haven't yet played it yet, I would say that if I could do it, you could do it. So, you know, don't even waste time going through these on regular. Just jump straight into Veteran, and you should be able to get through it no problem. So you're going to take out the 3 guys in this room here, and then you'll get your little objective indicator that says to steal this suit right here. And so this is the Mars soldier's suit, and you can see here how we're putting on a helmet, and that's what gives us our main disguise right here. And so from this point on, our objective in this mission is to kill 3 I can't remember what they call them, but like 3 most wanted people. And we're pretty much going to do the whole thing in this I shouldn't say costume, in this suit that we're in right now. But you could see here, even though there's still that meter on the screen that says that's like going up, I don't think that meter actually means anything. So unless I were to stand out in the open and just start shooting at these people, they are not going to know that I am who I am. That being said, I still wanted to be a little careful because I'm not 100% sure if that's true. I don't know. Maybe if you get too close to them, if they can see inside your helmet and tell that you're not one of their fellow soldiers. I don't know. I didn't care to test that theory because if it did end up being true, that means that I'd have to, you know, start over. So I just decided to play it as safely as I could. But yeah, this part is really just walking around, and then you're going to come to this big room here, and you're going to get this little objective indicator. So you see one on the right, you can ignore that. That's just an armory room where you can go if you want to unlock a new piece of equipment or something, or get like an equipment upgrade. But other than that, our real objective in here is going to be to follow that tech officer. And so you're going to want to let a little time go by, because what we have to do is kill that tech officer. But you obviously can't do it out in the open, otherwise that blows your entire cover. So just spend a little time and let him go up these stairs here. And when he gets to this upper floor, he's going to go to this little control room looking area, and this is where he becomes isolated from the rest of the soldiers. So as soon as you get the opportunity and he hides behind, and he goes behind these desks, then do your stealth kill. No one will see it, and then there you go. And I think the reason we took him out is because we got his credentials to get into the next area. So the next area, basically what we're trying to do is plant a device that will turn off all the life support. Yeah, and you see here, one thing I'm doing is every time I see one of those terminals with the robots, you can actually turn those off. And those, I don't know if that does anything, but the game describes those as emergency machines, where if something goes wrong, those robots come to life and will start attacking you. And so I don't know if they're actually a threat, but I figure why not? If you have an opportunity, you might as well power them down, so that if you do get caught, or if the game makes you get caught, like if that's just part of the level, then at least you don't have robots to worry about, you just have humans. And so once you exit that room here, the rest of it's pretty simple. We're gonna make our way through here, follow the objectives, and plant that life support device, and then we're gonna have to fight our way out of here with the gun. But you'll see that, I mean, if you've already beaten this game on veteran, doing the firefights in this level are laughable. They're not challenging at all. And so the side missions, I thought that the side missions were a lot of fun. In fact, I thought they were kind of more fun than the main campaign. That's partially because I just really love stealth games, and while there were a couple moments of stealth in the main campaign, the side missions are almost all stealth-oriented, at least the ones that involve you going onto an enemy ship, and so I'm a bit biased in that. That's why I liked them so much. But another reason I really liked them is the same reason if you've ever played Halo. Oh, which Halo was it? It was Halo 4. Halo 4 introduced something called Spartan Ops, which were little small missions aside from the main campaign, where you got to play as a regular Spartan instead of Master Chief, and you basically just went on these realistic military missions. And the missions were small. The missions weren't particularly overly exciting, but they felt really realistic. And when I played those Spartan Ops, I really felt like I was playing a military game. Some of the missions were repetitive, but you got to think that, that's some of the stuff that they were doing, that's real life military things. And so I just thought that was a lot of fun, because often when you're playing a campaign, namely a Call of Duty campaign, the games get so action-packed that oftentimes they lose that sense of realism. And so, real quick, to cut off on that, what you're going to do here is once these enemies corner your teammate Salter, that's when you're gonna turn on them and unleash your real identity. And so now we met up with Salter, and the rest of this just involves getting out of this ship, and then we have, I think, a small jackal fight to deal with. But basically, the point I was making is, even though they're not the most exciting, the Spartan Ops missions in Halo 4 made the game feel really realistic, and that's how I feel about these side missions in Call of Duty, because Call of Duty games especially, those games can just be way over the top action that ultimately lose their sense of realism. And that's not to say they're not fun, it's just not relatable. But then when you do these missions like this, they're small, they're compact, they're not too simple, but they're not anything that is incredibly difficult. And I think that these missions do a good job at highlighting the actual inner workings of military operations. And so I might not be describing why I like them in the best way possible, but hopefully you made sense of that. And if you agree with me, or if you don't agree with me, I'd like to know what you think about these side missions. So leave a comment below if you'd like to do that. But basically, we're just going to clear out this last hallway here, and I went and turned off this robot device. Like I said, I don't think that that does anything, but I figure why not if I have the opportunity. And so then, once you take out this last hallway, we're going to go into the airlock here, and we are headed towards the last part of this mission, which is we have to get into our jackals. I think we have to clear the space a little bit. I think there's a couple, they call them skelters, which are like the main enemy ships that you have to worry about. I think we have to clear the area of those, and then you'll be done. Oh wait, nope, one more thing. So now you come to the part which I perhaps hate the most, which is these 0G gunfights. Cover is really hard and tricky in these sections, so the best thing you can do is just run up to this part of the ship right here, and you can crouch behind this big, whatever this is, protruding from the ship, and then you can make sure you take out the rest of the enemies. So clear out those guys, you'll get a checkpoint, and then grapple onto your jackal here, and now we just have to clear the airspace of any remaining threats, and then you'll be done with the mission. And at this point here, it's nothing that you haven't done before. Personally, I do not like these jackal fights, but luckily, in my opinion, they could have made these a lot more difficult on veteran, and thankfully they didn't do that. So your ship can take a lot of damage, yeah, that's really it. I mean, if you've played this, if you know what I'm talking about, they could have made these a lot more difficult than they did. So even though I don't like these sections, they're nothing that I'm going to really complain about. So there you go, guys. Approach the runway once you're done, and you'll be good to go. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you get the chance. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I will see you in more side missions from Call of Duty.